I'm Ruby from Ruby's Bedtime Stories. How are you? I hope you've had a lovely day. Today I'm going to be reading A Sock Monster Army, The Adventures of Julie and Tristan by Nate Whiting. This book was sent to me from Maryland, which is one of the states in the USA. Before we read this book, what do you think it's going to be about? Does the front page or title give you any clues? Are you ready to read this lovely book? Let's get reading! An adventurous young lady, Julie Leda McSchmidt, was folding her clothes and darning her knits, when, suddenly puzzled, she paused to take stock. Miss Julie was wondering, "Hey, where are my socks?" Where do you think her socks have gone? Julie dove through the pile of clothes on her bed. Not one single sock in the mountain of threads. "They're not in my hamper. No, not under my bed. Someone's tampered with my hamper, just to mess with my head." Julie ran to the dryer and crawled up inside, thinking, if I were a sock, this is where I would hide. But the dryer was empty, except for one tiny clue. A sock-coloured lint ball, purple, red, green and blue. She examined the fuzz with some pokes, pulls and dabs, then refashioned her room into a forensic-like lab. Bunsen burners and beakers, test tubes and dyes. Julie scanned every strand under magnified eyes. And then Julie noticed one small fizzle of fuzz. Didn't fuzz the way little girl sock fuzzle does. "I've got my first lead," she declared to her toys. "This fuzz is distinctive of socks made for boys." Her young brother, Tristan, yet another McSchmidt, was seen sulking around Julie's door quite a bit. Oftentimes underfoot is where Tristan would linger. Perhaps he is the culprit. He's got sticky fingers. Julie crept down the hall and peeked into his room, where Tristan was smashing his trains with a boom. Julie's thoughts went to thinking, perhaps not this time. I hope stealing all of my socks is where he'd draw the line. So she searched high and low, and every place in between. Then she pondered about where her socks were last seen. Did I leave them outside? They're not out in the hall. Did they just wander off? My socks are AWOL. And then Julie recalled what her mum used to say whenever a few of her socks went astray. "Someday I might catch him. He can't always get away. I guess our sock monster was hungry today." Sock monster? Julie never thought anything of it. When said, it just sounded silly, like those bugs in my bed. Perhaps it was true. Could sock monsters be real? And could they not think of something better to steal? So there Julie sat, sockless and sad. She wasn't sure if she should be frightened or mad. Miss Julie McSchmidt had a new adventure in mind. "I've got a sock monster hideout to find." Julie scanned her whole room from the front to the back when she noticed her closet. It was open a crack. She leapt over her bed to the back of the room, wishing right now she had a big stick or a broom. Do you think it's going to be in the closet? From on down the hall, Tristan heard the kerfuffle. Then he stealthed up behind Julie's bed with a shuffle. He slinked right on up to where Julie was kneeling when Tristan yelled, "What you doing?" Julie nearly hit the ceiling. After Julie recovered, and her heart rate subsided, she had an idea. A sock monster alliance. Julie turned to her sibling, smiling one of those smiles that often led to intentions diabolically guile. In a whispering voice, she took Tristan aside. We must form an army and amass our supplies. For today we join forces. Just this once we're aligned. No mission more crucial than this in my eyes. Julie pulled Tristan close, picked him up by the scruff. We cannot get the sock monster out soon enough. A sock monster invasion is what we must manage. We will ask questions later when assessing the damage. Our schooling can wait. Homework be gone. Nothing will halt this sock hunt. We are on. Let's scout out our rooms, gather all our provisions, recon the conditions, then make further decisions. So Tristan and Julie, they began preparations for a closet siege sock monster decolonisation. They mapped their base camp to strict specifications, then dispersed all their rations to strategic locations. Mutinons of tennis balls, hairbands and clips, army tanks, aeroplanes, toy zeppelins and ships, action figures, green soldiers, robots and dolls, platooned all together behind plastic brick walls. The first wave will be our stuffed animal raiders. On the flank, a battalion of wind-up crusaders, a division of dinosaurs paralysing with fear, then a squadron of bobbleheads will bring up the rear. What a good plan. Rubber band whirlybirds wound and ready to fly, a tiny dragon brigade prepped to sign, sear and fry, and the creme de la creme, nay the piece de resistance, ceiling fan pan-troopers to attack over distance. Do you think their plan's going to work? Tristan and Julie were now prepared to dig in. Their army was ready. Let the battle begin! With all the right tools and the ideal evolution, they were primed for this sock monster de-infestation. As a ceremonial finale, Julie had Tristan kneel. She bequeathed him a knighthood, which made Tristan squeal. I dub thee, Sir Tristan, arise and be reputed. Sir Tristan rose to his feet, nobly bowed and saluted. He then raised up the colours to signal the groups. Julie readied her speech so as to rally the troops. She peered down from her bed and with bullhorn in hand declared this, the greatest toy army by far in the land. All my minions to arms! This is our moment of action. You know what to do. There must be no distractions. To the closet, dear friends, go now. Launch the attack. The sock monster's last words will be, wait, Mom, what was that? What do you think's happened? My socks are all in Tristan's drawer with the cat. Julie lunged at her brother, now sprinting out of the room, wishing, now's when I need that big stick or a broom. Oh. As she said once before, Julie knew the whole time. Sock monsters are a figment of my mum's wacky mind. The end. The sock monster! was such a lovely book, wasn't it, children? Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the book. And a big thank you to Nate Whiting for sending me this lovely book. Before I go, what was your favourite part of the book? Thank you. Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe.